Well, hello, hello. Happy Sunday to everybody here. My name is Taylor Thompson.
And I'm Larry Thompson, the big little L, big T.
And so we are so excited because we are celebrating a very, very, very special day. And so this is incredibly impromptu. So we're going to give everybody a chance to come in and join us as we celebrate a 40th year celebration for the Millionaire Training. Can you believe it? Guys, as you're coming on, this is 40 years. Today, the day, 40 years ago, this training was recorded. And so I couldn't let this very special day pass us by that we could not come in and celebrate with you and let you celebrate with us. So we have some special guests backstage. I cannot wait for you to meet them. I cannot wait for you to hear what's happening with them. But as people are coming on, we're on several different platforms here. So as you're coming on, please say hi. Please let us know where you're coming in from. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Zonia. Hello, hello. And if you are new to this platform, please let Facebook know or StreamYard know that we can use your name. Otherwise, all we see is Facebook user
versus
oh, that's Peter. Or we see Facebook user, or we see Peter. We see your name. So Peter. Hello, Tony. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Mark. Hello, Malcolm. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Jack Silva. Jack Silva. Oh my goodness. So excited to have you here. Jack Silva, one of the contributors in the book. I don't know if you've had a chance to read his story. It's amazing. Hello, Tracy. Hello. Let's see. There's Gemma. I cannot wait for you to hear what's happening. Hello, Victoria. So yeah. I want to start this out.
Let me just say something here. I know Taylor just put this together impromptu because we've been going through a lot of stuff here in Texas, as probably a lot of you know, with no electricity, no water, all of that stuff. And I woke up this morning and I'm sitting in the church parking lot because last Sunday we didn't get to go to church. This Sunday was open because of the weather. And I look down there and I see this post on Facebook from Ron Henley. And I got to tell you something, it touched me beyond belief to realize the impact of what this book club is doing, but the impact of what this message is doing, especially in today's world of transitioning into a new audience, language, and behavior that's so great out there with these basic fundamentals. And so it was impactful for me, and I shared it with Taylor. She said, we're going to do something.
I love it. I love it. And so as you guys... I'm gonna add this here. So we're so happy to have you here celebrating with us. And I wanted to read this to you because Larry thought this was so kind and so amazing of Ron Henley. He's actually a contributor inside the book. He leads a group he has a whole Facebook group. It's a Jim Rohn mastermind group. He is starting a network marketing his museum of network marketing. And so if you want to know any facts of anything about the past in network marketing, I'm telling you, he is the guru of history when it comes to network marketing. So
yeah, you guys can obviously, when you read his part in the Millionaire Training book, you can understand who he is and what he is. And I told Ron, with all the stuff that was coming in, that because of the Jim Rohn Mastermind Group, it would be great to make this get this platform set up. And between the two of us, we were talking and we came up with the Network Marketing Historical Society. Okay, and he's keeping all of this, and we're supporters of that from the Academy. And there's going to be a full-blown museum in Georgia, in the Atlanta area, with all of this. And it's being built right now. All the materials coming in, and it's a constant process. It comes in, it gets stored, it gets logged in, then it gets taken apart and looked at, and then it gets put in the right category and getting ready to get it on exhibit when this thing opens up. So anything you guys got, any kind of on anybody, send it in, and the Network Marketing Society. Anyway, we'll give you more information on that. But this is Ron's message. It affected me deeply this morning.
So I'll read you the post, and then I'm going to bring over our guest. I cannot wait for you to hear from our guest today. Hey, Eliseo, all the way from Spain. We've got the UK over here. I love
family.
This. So today, 40 years ago, Larry Thompson gave his world famous Millionaire Training speech. And the entire network marketing profession has never been the same. May the 4th, 1968, Larry joined Bestline Products and the journey began. He soaked in everything He was taught and put it to work, building a huge business. Soon, the long-haired hippie construction worker, as a featured speaker in Best Lines Direct Schools, traveling the country with Jim Rohn and Bobby DePew. All of that wisdom and experience that is poured into him had become a part of him over the next 13 years, brought him to February 21st, 1981, 40 years ago today. Larry brought with him everything he learned, seen, heard, and experienced, and shared it from his heart on that fateful day. Other than the time I'd heard Jim Rohn, Millionaire Training has and continues to have the biggest single impact on my life. A still factory sealed copy has a major place of honor in the Network Marketing Historical Society Museum and is one of the most prized possessions. And to think the world was this close to never hearing it until Mark Hughes, almost at the last minute, decided to record it. They paid the guy $150 who taped the microphone to the seat in the front row, forever capturing Larry's sharing the core concepts this profession was founded upon. There is simply no way to have ever determined the sheer magnitude of the impact that this training has had on the lives of countless of millions of people over the last 40 years. The ripple it has created will forevermore radiate into all of us and people we touch because its message is timeless. So many of today's icons and legends can trace back and give credit to Larry and the Millionaire Training. Last year, the Millionaire Training book was released not only to feature a word-for-word transcript of the speech, it also features stories of the icons and top earners who use what they learned from Larry to become who they are today. It has become an Amazon #1 bestseller with over 100 5-star reviews and growing. If you don't have a copy, get it now at the Millionaire Training. Huge shout out to Taylor Thompson for her tireless work in getting this book put together. Without her, it would have never happened. Thanks to Tanya Warren for her marketing expertise in getting this book published and out to the marketplace. Thanks to Jeff Roberti, Jeff Weisberg, Tish Roisin, Dan McCormick, Dan Stamen, Dan Waldron, Trey Herron, Jay Bennett, Ray Higdon, John Solander, Rolf Zorg, Carla Angolio, Frank McCahey, Jack Silva, Lisa Fetterman, for your amazing contributions to the book. What you shared in these pages will inspire people forever. To my friend Larry, there is no language to capture and express my continued gratitude for your friendship and mentorship. The impact that you have now and will continue to have on countless of lives of others is beyond comprehension. As much as the last 40 years have brought, the best is yet to come. With that being said, let's close this tribute with 2 simple words. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
I wanted to share that from Ron. This was so moving and so touching, but we have some amazing things. So, as you know, this is the book. This is what he was referring to. And the list of names that I shared with you, those were the list of contributors that shared their story. Those are the people that took these briefcase of skills that they learned whenever they were broke waiters or car mechanics or lady truck drivers and took this and went on to create their own legacies in this space. So that's the book. But what I wanted to do today is not only honor Larry, not only honor Bobby DePew, his mentor, not only honor Jim Rohn and the impact that they've had on our industry, but I wanted to honor the contributors for them taking these skills and taking it to the marketplace and having an impact on not only their business, but other people's lives across the globe. And then what I wanted to do is I wanted to share that with you. We wanted to share that with you because right now, this training, this book, these skills, this content is changing people's lives right this minute. Rapidly. And so we wanted to come on and give tribute to that, but we wanted to show you more importantly of what's happening even right now. Sometimes people think 40 years ago, how can that possibly impact me now? And I'm just going to tell you, it's having just as big of impact, if not bigger, right this minute. And so I wanted to bring some people to the stage and let them share with you what's going on with them, how they got started, and introduce you to them. So I'm going to bring real quick here, I'm going to bring Mr. Roger Garth to the stage. Roger, how are you?
Hey, I'm great, guys. I'm absolutely great. I think it's staggering that it's 40 years ago. Really, really is. And I was thinking about it earlier on today when you contacted me, Taylor, and said today's 40 years, to think about how many millions of people have listened to those audios in that time. I mean, literally millions of people been affected by a training session that you did 40 years ago. That's mind-blowing. Yeah. But like you said, it's how it's affecting people today. Because what really excites me is the fact that I'm here with my team now, introducing it to a completely new generation of people who weren't even born 40 years ago.
Yeah.
People who were born 20 years ago. It's just astonishing. And I mean, I got, because I saw the call when Fraser interviewed you and you were talking about the book. And I just saw you, Larry. I just saw you hold the book up. And before you got any further, I'd found it on Amazon and ordered it because I thought, like, I got to have that because I'd listened to these tapes all these years ago. There on the front, John Solider, I got to work with John. I had the pleasure of working with John 30 years ago after he learned this from you. And he worked with me, and I worked with John with my sponsor, Simon Brooks, working with John for probably about 10 years. And the simplicity of what you do is what makes the difference for me. And here's what I've really found in the last few months that we've been working with you. It kind of took me back to where I came from originally, because we all get off track, don't we? You can't help it. You move on, particularly in today's society. We've got this fast moving world. We've got social media. There's little shiny objects all over the place flashing at you. Come to do this, try that. This is better. That's better. Fundamentals. That's what it's about. And we're so used to trying to change people from what they are into something they don't want to be.
Yeah.
And that's where the resistance comes from.
Yeah.
You know, we try changing people into social media gurus.
Yes.
We try changing people, turning people into internet marketing sensations. We try turn people into salespeople, and they're not salespeople. And when we actually get the language right with them, and we get them saying the right things to other people, and just saying, don't know whether it's going to work for you or not. It might not work for you. It's worked for me, might not work for you, but take a look and see what you think. And you take the pressure off them.
Yeah.
We actually we're finding more and more people actually finding the story much easier because they don't feel that they're pressured to join something. Instead of putting them under pressure to join something, you let them come to their own natural, logical conclusion that this is a smart idea.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what your product is.
Yeah. Because
everybody gets to say the same thing to everyone else. I don't know if it's going to work for you. All I know is it works for me. This is what I did, and this is what happens. And it's a very, very simple process. But the difference it's made to my team has been incredible, because I have people who've been with us for a few months and weren't seeing any major growth. They were even struggling to get started because they were trying to be salespeople. They were trying to absorb lots of technical knowledge and then trying to express technical knowledge that they didn't really have to people who weren't really that interested in technology and techniques and everything else. When we just put a simple message together that just said, all I know is I just do this and I get that, and we just told some stories about it, our team's gone through the roof. The growth has been absolutely spectacular. We've done more in the last 3 months than we did in the previous 15 months.
Wow.
And that's really what's making the difference.
Can you say that again?
We've done more in the past 3 months than we've done in the previous 15 months.
And because it started with the book coming out, that we only started the book club in November. And when we tied in the book club with the book, and we had groups like this around the world, as you can tell, United Kingdom here, okay, and to see this kind of growth that Roger just mentioned, Okay, because people are they're good enough as they are. If they'll take these basic fundamentals, the people in this book took where they were, the long-haired hippie, the stay-at-home mom, the waiter, the truck driver. We took where we were and added this into our lives, and it's more relevant today than ever before.
I see Lisa Grossman as a contributor here. I see Jack Silva here, one of the contributors that were in the book that are, incredibly successful in their companies. #1, as a matter of fact, top 10 here. But Roger, like this piece right here, what you're sharing. Yeah. How many people out there would love to do more in business in the last 90 days than they did in the previous 15 months? That's such a powerful statement. So tell a little bit, do you think are you just like, what are you doing with your people?
Do you know what? All that we're doing is telling people just keep it simple. We literally have, because our products are digital products. So it's not a physical product that you put in people's hands. And everyone seemed to think that they had to know precisely how something worked. First of all, we were slowing people down because they thought they had to master the product and how it worked and get a result before they could talk to anybody. And that's not what network marketing is all about. Network marketing is about sharing other people's stories, because the product clearly works. Our company's been established for more than 7 years. We've got 350,000 customers around the world. The product works. What makes you think that you're so different that you need to prove that it works? Yeah. It'll make a difference to anybody else. So just tell stories. So we'd gone from, because we tried all kinds of crazy things. We got webinars, we had websites, we had videos all over the place. We were sending people to do things, but the problem is, we were sending people to do things, but they weren't actually doing it. They weren't going. We put these webinars on. We decided if we put a webinar on, we'll do webinar on demand. We could have a webinar starting every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day, anywhere in the world. It sounds cool, doesn't it? Except that the prospects were going to it and going like, oh, I don't want to put my email address in. So they weren't doing it. They weren't seeing it. They didn't see the story. So It didn't really work for us. What we did was we went back to doing live Zooms, and instead of telling half-hour, three-quarter-hour, 1 hour long sessions that explain the ins and outs and the inside leg measurements of the chairman and all kinds of junk that you don't need to know, we just said, okay, this is what we do, and let me introduce you to some people that are actually doing it and see what they get. Yeah. And we told everybody, you keep your story short. I want your story like 30 seconds. Your story's just got to be who you are, where you come from, why you got started, what your results are. That's it. That's all I want to hear. Yeah, 30 seconds. So we get 10 on every call. We get 10 different stories from different backgrounds, people all around the world.
Yes.
We can demonstrate that we actually have product users in South Africa. We've got product users in the USA. We've got product users in Australia. We've got product users in the UK, Denmark, all over Europe. We've got product users everywhere, and we can demonstrate it.
Yeah.
And they're all getting the results, and it works. And so we went from we decided we were going to go back to doing that, but we decided we were going to do five of those calls a week. Now, here's the other thing. For the last 3 years, all of the calls, all the presentation calls that we've been doing have been done by me, because I could master the technology and I could put it all together and I could do it. And nobody else could do what I was doing. Now we've got 5 different people doing it.
5? Yeah?
5 different people doing it. So I do 1 call a week now. Yeah, I'm on every call because I'm honored to give my story and everything else. But you've had most, in fact, I think you've had you've had most of our presenters, and you haven't. There's one more you haven't had yet. We'll let you have one more presenter come on the book club. But you've had Daisy on. You had Daisy on last week. You've had Katie on. You've had Bailey on. We've got other people besides, but we're
talking about like Bailey here, because I want to talk. I mean, like, I love Katie. I love Daisy. These are all new people in here, but this guy Bailey, 18 years old. 18 years old, and he recruited 9 new people in January, if I remember correctly.
10. He actually did 10.
10. 18 at 18 years old.
Yeah. And he lives on an island that's like a rock off the top end of Scotland. They've got like the population of the entire island is 20,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean
Wow.
the whole island is talking about this guy.
I love it. I love it.
And he sort of his income from his networking business has increased 6-fold.
Wow.
In the last 2 months.
All because of the book, the book club, and the academy.
And just keeping it simple.
Wow. Wow.
That's all because he keeps it simple.
Yeah.
So okay.
And he has an amazing future in front of him.
I love it. I love it.
You guys are doing such a good job with the book club, okay? And that's a nice hook because it's free, the book club, and that guides them into the academy where you can tie all this stuff together in today's environment. It's today's environment, technological environment, pandemic environment, Lamborghini bikini environment. You got to become a marketer before you become a network marketer. You put them in this environment, and this is happening around the world. The story you just heard is happening right this minute around the world with every product and marketing plan, circumstances that you can imagine, guys. I'm just so proud of it.
I love this. I love all the work. And thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much, Dan, for sharing that. And so Gemma, I'm going to bring you on. Hey, hey.
Hello. How are we?
Coming from Spain. Good for you.
Oh, excited to be here. It's absolutely incredible of what's happening. Our timing, me and Rogers, is exactly the same because we both seen that one interview with Fraser. We both won the coaching call. And wow, to think that purchasing a book like this has totally transformed my belief, my team's belief. You know, it's tenfold of how it's duplicated because your team will do what you do, not what you say you're going to do. But yeah, it's been an absolute incredible journey from it began. I've been in my own business for 9.5 years. It'll be 10 years now in July, and had an incredible first year, the most phenomenal first year in my business. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was working 2 jobs at the time, and the common saying, there was too much month at the end of the money and something needed to change. So I came into network marketing purely for an opportunity. I wasn't a customer. I didn't want to be a customer. But thank goodness I was told, if you're not going to use these products, you aren't joining my team. And I was like, it's been the best thing. I'm very true to my guys. And within 3 days, energy went through the roof and the products got me. But that's all I did was share what the products did to me. And it took me 5 weeks to realize I was actually in network marketing. I didn't actually know that I could join a team. And it was nothing to my upline. She was as new and excited as I was. We were just sharing products. And I got excited, signed up my best friend, signed up some university friends. And within 6 months, I'd matched my salary as a transport manager. And I had no idea how I'd done it. I didn't know. I always think back to Trish Rasheen's story. It's like, Taylor, you say it all the time, even today, she does not know how that compensation plan works. And I didn't. And within 13 months, I sacked my boss. I went full time and probably never worked full time again in my life. I really became all the mistakes that you can make. I forgot my job description. I became the manager. I was Roger. Every single event was because I was doing it. I was doing all the calls. I was doing everything for everybody else because all I thought was, if I got all of them to do what I want to do, then I'll get where I want it to be. And we had a great year last year. Absolutely incredible year, you know, given circumstances. I'm going to be honest, it was probably just give people something to do. So we grew. But in my middle of last year, I started to go down in my belief. I started to go down in my confidence that I could actually do what I was doing. And to be honest, I was exhausted. I was absolutely exhausted in my business. And that's when I had the call with you both.
I remember that.
I shared. the tears, and everybody that knows me knows that I'm that emotional person, but I just was honest with you both. I didn't know where to go. I thought I had this structure, that structure. I needed to do this. Why is everybody else not doing what it was? And when you both spoke to me and talked about the 80, 15, and 5, that was revolutionary for me. My whole way of understanding changed. And I was like, no wonder I'm not getting anything that I want. I'm not sharing the message right. My language was completely wrong. My invitation, I wouldn't join. If I had to work with She Works, I wouldn't join. You know, I know Mark's listening, my fiance, and he was like, "Are you on another call? Are you on, like, are we going to have life?" You know, it was just work. And the simplification that you brought it back to, and I can't lift anybody else's weights. Yes, I need to really, like, Gemma 1 and Gemma 2 is having serious words right now. It's like, come on. So Laurie, you're in my head 24/7 going, well, what would Laurie want to do? What would he be saying? And but it's, Roger said it, it's the energy that I've got in me. Again, it just transpires to everybody else because you both give me belief again, and the fundamentals and my sidelines and everything. I think you go to the academy and it's like, yeah, Gemma told us and Gemma told us, and it's like, yeah, none of you guys are in my team. And it's like the fundamentals are everything, and it was so lost. It was just completely blurred. And you know, the other shiny object, and I'm like, oh, do I need to learn TikTok? Do I need to do this? Now it's Clubhouse, and I'm like, no, I can't do anything else. You know, and it's just, I need to do my job description. And I think, you know, Laurie, when you're saying, I'm going to say this book is absolutely amazing, but I heard Millionaire training about 5 years ago. I didn't hear it. I listened to it, but I didn't hear it. But you know what actually got this for me? Yes, the training's amazing, guys. It's so easy to read if you haven't read it, but it's the stories.
Yes.
It was the stories that cemented what was in the training. And I'm like, that's what that meant. That was the penny drop. And guys, what do we have to do is simply share stories. And that is why the stories in the book have just catapulted what was done today 40 years ago to like a day. A month is a day now. It's just, it's unbelievable. I say to people, I was like, how is February nearly over? You know, was it not just the 1st of January a few days ago? It's just crazy. And it's those stories are cementing it. You know, my language is totally different. That last week, and you know, yeah, maybe a little bit different, but I've brought 8 people last week back to the business.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, I will be honest, the news not coming, I'm getting lots of conversations, but that's not up to me whether they come on board. And to be honest, the people I'm speaking to have watched me probably for 9.5 years and still think, I can't do what she does. But guess what? I brought 8 people back, and they now believe that actually 200 to 300 or 500 to 1,500 a month, I actually could do that.
Yeah.
That's fire. And I've found old reports in my emails, and I have hundreds of people that we can just reconnect with because guess what? They loved our products.
Yes.
But through being pushed, why are you not at the meeting? You know, are you not serious?
Yeah.
How many people, like, there's a few of my team. I think there's 9 of us now in the academy, and we have a WhatsApp group. And I just said, I was like, you know, the hardest thing for me that I have to just park and move away is how many people I alienated in this opportunity because I expected them to do what I wanted them to do for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just been, sorry, I probably
it's good. And so we got another special guest that's going to be coming on. I can't wait for you guys to hear from him. He was there whenever this was recorded 40 years ago. I'm going to bring him on here in just a minute, but I want the people to hear this, Gemma, because everything that you and Roger have said right now is so gold. And what you're saying, tell about the ladies, tell about what's happening with your ladies that have started reading the book from the book club, where they are. It's incredible.
All you have to, even what we're in here right now, if you're watching this in the book club Facebook group, go back through the stories, and we had Jade last week. Jade's just on here as well. And it's the fundamentals that Jade's actually bringing into her everyday life, not just her business, lots of new members coming on. But, I'm really going to pull out Jill, to be honest. And in November, just before this chance meeting, or fate, as I'm going to call it, Jill was ready to just go. It was maybe I'm too old, maybe I'm not able to do this. Laura, you say all the time, you're tall enough, you're strong enough, you're able, and because of how difficult we were making this, it was do this structure, do that unit, create this. It was just really confusing people, and it was they felt that they had to know a full degree before they got started.
Yes.
I didn't have a clue how I got started. All I knew is I took the products. I was excited. I remember somebody in my work back in 2011 saying to me, Gemma, what are you on? And I was like, you need to get on these products. That was as simple as it was. And I remember even doing the groceries one day, and a lady turned to me and goes, whatever you're on, you can bottle that. You would make millions. And I'm like, no, it's already bottled. We make billions. And I gave her my business card. And it was incredible. But I had lost that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it was I have to do this. I have to do that. Why is nobody on the Zoom calls? It was just, you were starting to, I was starting to hit my head off a brick wall.
Yeah.
And now, guess what? It's their choice, and it's lifted the biggest weight off my shoulders. And it's probably taken me quite a few weeks to actually, oh my God, I don't have to do that. It's a little bit weird, and it's a little bit oh my God, I don't know what to do now.
So tell us about your growth. Tell us how much you've grown. This is really good.
Yeah, it was incredible for us because, we had a great start to last year. But from December to December, and December's always, everybody's like, oh, it's a quiet month. And I'm like, well, why? Our product especially is daily consumption. Why is it quiet? You're meant to take it every day. I still have my products Christmas morning, so it's daily consumption. And we had 100% growth.
How much?
December to December. 111.
111% in December.
Yeah.
After this great year, you already have it because of the pandemic. This is amazing.
Wow. This is so much fun. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So we've got one more coming on.
I want to say something up here before we go on to that. You're looking here at the same accent, but you're looking at two people that are in two different countries.
No. They have different accents.
Well,
we do.
Okay, well, it's the same to this Texan.
So it's three languages. We got Texan, we've got English, and we got Irish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So they're two different countries, okay? Two different product lines, okay? Two different genders, okay? And they got two different set of circumstances of company circumstances, pluses and minuses, two different circumstances of upline, downline issues. They're all different. And what you're seeing here is what we're seeing every single Friday on the book club, that this comes on, and this is working the same way around the globe, no matter what company, no matter what product, no matter what compensation model, no matter what, this is happening. That's got me inspired, guys. I'm inspired because this reminds me of when this was recorded and what happened in Herbalife as a getting these basic fundamentals in place. And these basic fundamentals tied in with today's technology beyond anything you can imagine. Just get ready. We've only started.
I love it. Okay. All right, you guys buckle in. We got one more, and then we got our big special guest. He's backstage. He's ready to come on. So we got, okay, Pisces,
Hey, Pisces.
how are you?
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So
Our young model, we call him, our young model.
yeah, I thought it was a GQ model the first time I saw Pisces here. And so you're from Scotland, right? So we got another country coming on. So okay, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. I know I've got a Santa top on. It's just really comfy. I like wearing it to bed, but I know it's Christmas time.
So tell us about you, Pisces, because I know that you got started with the book right whenever it launched, and you've had amazing growth. So would you share with everybody what's happened with you?
Yeah, great. So you just touching on there. First of all, just want to say thank you so much for asking me to come on and speak. It's an absolute honour for this tonight. So I've been involved with my company now for the past 4 years. And you know what? I got off to a great start as well, sort of thing. I was just kind of talking to lots and lots of people at the start. We got great growth. We got great pin changes. Next minute, I was speaking on an extravaganza in front of 17,000 people. Things were like going incredible for us. And then I suppose you kind of stop talking to lots of people. I think you just think that things are going to just keep on going. You're going to go for the next pin to the next pin. You know what? And that doesn't happen. Yeah, you think you get stuck in your head. But in the end of the day, I wasn't talking to enough people. And then we get kind of just stabled off. We just kind of keep just doing the maybe average sort of volume, you would say. And then from there, it came to like lockdown, the pandemic happened, and yes, we did get a lot of growth within our company and ourselves as well. But you know what, and then I started to listen to Larry on the 1st of November 2020. Started to listen to him on YouTube. He was doing some shows on there, and I started to listen to him, and I was like, wow, this is like incredible what I'm hearing here. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And my sponsor, my upline sponsor, Kevin Green, he said to me, Pisey, this Millionaire training book, you need to get the book. So I was like, right, okay. So I went and got the book. I started reading it, and you know what? After I read it, it's like you just go through the book, and I was only ever a couple of degrees off where I actually wanted to be. You talk about GPS, and 100% do believe that. Okay, looking back now, and I was actually talking to Lisa earlier about it, my fiance who works the business with me. I wasn't employing myself at all.
You said you were going to bring her on. I hope you have her there with you.
She's just putting a little girl to sleep next to me. She might come on in a minute. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I wasn't employing myself as a full-time distributor. And you know what? It showed and it paid because of that. I just thought I was doing more work part-time than I was being full-time, if that makes sense. And I don't know how that could even happen because I was so busy being part-time. Once I got to full-time, it was like I liked to get bossed about when I was part-time. You know what I mean? I liked having a boss. I liked all that sort of thing. But when I came full-time, I was you just put your feet up and I don't know, you just think things are going to happen for you. And that obviously doesn't. And you can see that when it reflects in your check. So going on to like understanding more about 80, 15 and 5, and you know what, having that burning desire, that willingness and that teachability, it's just hearing this sort of language that I never even knew about, and the kind of audience that I was going for it and looking for at the time. I was telling people like stories about earning £5,000 and £10,000 a month and all that, and it's like I want to be helping people that want to earn £500 to £1,500 a month.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and getting these people within my company, they don't even need to know who the CEO is of the company. They don't care who the CEO is. we want to get these guys in our company using the products, 80, 15, and 5, okay? And their desire, their willingness, and their teachability is going to be down to them. Why? Because the one variable is me, the one variable is them, okay? So I want my guys getting in, I want them getting involved, which is using the product. I want them getting engaged, which is wearing the button or wearing the brand. And I want them to be active. I want them to be talking to people, yeah? Activity is key. And I never really fully understood that until I started to engage with the book, until I started to get engaging with the book club as well, the book club and the academy. Self-responsibility. One thing that I'd never done before, but listen to the 5 self-responsibility. It was like so incredible for me to fully realize that self-determination, self-discipline, self-functioning, which then led to me self-motivation. It was like understanding all these things and then putting it into practice, because end of the day, I think everyone's company is results driven, and especially our company is results driven. And since it was on November, we sponsored 9 new frontline in November, 7 in December. It was 16 in January, and this month has been 7 already, which is great. And I get that, and it's good, and it does sound good to all the viewers. But at the end of the day, like, you can only tell somebody to come in and get their products and get them on and try and help them be as teachable as they can. But we've only got 2 or 3 in the academy at the moment, and listen, they're learning and they're growing. And Larry talks about it before. For me now, if any individual's not in the academy and not learning and understand how to build, then I think they're just going to be forever trying to retail and use their social media stories and do all that kind of jazz. And for me, you need to be in the academy to learn. It's a must for me, and what it's done for me already. And even just going back to like 2019 was like, you just kind of moseyed along with everything that I was doing. And let's just say volume wise, because this might relate to some people, we done 50,000 volume in 2019. 2020, we done 210,000.
Wow, that's awesome. That's amazing.
And right now already we've done 30,000 volume, and it's like 8 weeks into the month, which is mental.
That's powerful. Well, guys, this is so awesome. Like, I am so excited to have you guys be here helping us celebrate 40 years today. You guys are some of the newest, after getting the book starting, because you guys all started with the book right about the same time, and what's happening with you personally, and then seeing what's happening to the people that you're bringing to the book club, the people that you are sharing this story with, and seeing the growth. It's so amazing for Larry and I to watch this unfold. And I know it is for him to watch it unfold again, right? So I want to bring up our very, very special guest here. So you guys give me just a second. I'm going to bring him up to the stage here. And let's see. There he is. Aha. Dennis!
I'm here. Oh, it gets more light.
Yes, a little bit more light.
There you go. Maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear.
Awesome. Okay, well, first of all, I just want to thank you for being here.
All of you. This is a last minute deal.
This is a last minute deal that we put together. Guys, if you're just joining on, we're talking about the Millionaire Training. We're talking about 40 years, today's birthday. Amazing. And we've talked about just the last 3 speakers here that have just been involved with the book and the Millionaire Training for the last basically 90 days. But this guy that I brought to the stage, he was actually in the room when the training was there 40 years ago. Can you believe it, Dennis?
Well, I was going to actually say, there's something that's actually a whole lot better than this book. A whole lot better than this book. And that was being in the meeting where we recorded the material for the book. That's what's better than the book.
Yes, it was.
It was amazing.
Well, okay, so I want you to tell about being in the room that day, and then what's happened with you since that time. If you don't mind sharing that story with the listeners here, I'm going to go grab a charger because I don't want my computer to die.
Well, I tell you, I mean, it was amazing because, actually the meeting was recorded just after the 1 year anniversary of Herbalife. And so, we'd had a year under our belts. And so you got a motley group of 20-year-olds. I think there was maybe 5 people older than 30. There was me, Richie Drexler, Frank Lutz, Steve Cullen, and Larry. So we were the over 30 crowd. Everybody else was in their 20s, so it was pretty interesting. And, seriously, all of these people were pretty much nobody's going nowhere, just existing through life. And we did an amazing job that first year. But, it was a lot of it for us was just, kind of going by the seat of our pants. And even though you had principles thrown out here and there, what that day did, what that meeting did, was it basically took all of the concepts and wrapped it up into that one meeting that basically laid the foundation for us to build a building that was unbelievable. And I mean, at that time I only had 5 supervisors, and which was the top position in the company at the time, and but that 5 supervisors with maybe a dozen or so distributors. Basically, that launched from there to over 250,000 distributors worldwide, and with over 260 people in the top 1% of our company that are a part of my team. So I mean, it's just been amazing, but it was all built off of that. And to this, seriously, 3 days ago, I was talking with somebody, and they said, I need that material. And I said, I can help you. So, so they're just, and the reason they last is because they're concepts, they're principles of that work in any industry. I mean, listen, they're prime time for multi-level, but literally they'll work in any industry. They work in industry, they work in life, and strategies come, strategies go, concepts come. Methods of operation come and go, but the concepts are constant. They don't change. And that's why they're so effective. Is that they're overall principles that if you follow them, listen, you can be a dope, and if you just apply the principles, you'll be a rich dope. So it's just kind of how it works, and that's this idea, and so the things laid out there, and Larry so brilliantly, that day that we recorded, I mean, he was coming from primetime position because he's coming from this construction worker, long-haired hippie construction worker, so he laid it out that, hey, anybody can do it, and that's the brilliance of it.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, some of the most intelligent people I know who were educated, who worked for major corporations and stuff like that, they didn't do well because they complicated everything. And what Larry laid out, listen, you read it, okay? When you go through here, one thing each of you really have attested to here, oh, that's simple. Oh, yeah, I can do that. And guess what? When you can do it, they can do it.
Yes.
You see,
Dennis, Jim,
I just was cracking up listening to you because, when you go out there and you're working like a dog and you're working, 60, 70 hours a week, 7 days a week, 368 days a year. I know there's only 365, but you squeezed in 3 extras. How do you recruit to something like that? Hey, you want to come and work your life off and not have any, you just do nothing but work your entire. But when you've got the story like you've got it now, hey, I'm in. I can do that. And that's the brilliance. That's what has to be in the multi-level. So all of these principles are just primed for, this industry. And it's prime and it's lasting and it's forever. And that's really what we've got going for us. I mean, you just...
what you haven't
there's valuable and applicable today as they were 40 years ago.
Tell them what your background was, and we know what it is now, but what was your background before you walked into that meeting that you joined?
Oh, yeah. Well, I had been driving a school bus for high school kids. and seriously, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I really did. I thought it was a great job.
ID number in Herbalife.
What's that?
What is your distributor ID number in Herbalife?
Well, my application number was number 86.
Number 86 in the world.
86
And I think there's like 5 million people now or something like that.
So number 86, sitting in the room as a bus driver, okay, listening to the stuff, and you heard the results, and you guys got to understand, there was a change in the climate back then that's identical to the change in the climate right now. Okay, I'm not going to go into it right now, but the audience language and behavior was completely different overnight. The same thing it is right now, but the difference is the growth that's coming from around the world, from the book club, from the book, and from the academy. No matter what the company is, no matter what the product is, no matter what the compensation model is, guys, it's happening before our eyes right now. This is happening.
So I love this. I wanted to create this, and this is so impromptu. I appreciate each and every one of you coming on at the last minute, because this was such a special day, and I wanted to really show, because we have Dennis here who was there when it was happening, right? And it shows how well it's worked, him implementing these concepts within his business and where he is today, and then bring it full circle to where we are currently with Roger, with Gemma, with Pisey, all knowing that they're different company. We have different companies represented here, as Larry said, different genders, obviously different countries. It seems like the Europeans are really picking up on this deal a little quicker than the people.
You got less to unlearn. I want to tell you a story about Bruce Lee, the martial artist. Okay, it was such a thing to be able to go in and train under Bruce Lee, and so when the guys came in, they got filtered through all the processes, and then they came in, and Bruce Lee was going to sit down, and they're accepted in the temple, but now they're going to perform for Bruce Lee, and so they wanted to do the absolute best they could to impress Bruce Lee. Guess what happened? Okay. They thought that they were doing it to impress Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was watching them to see what he had to untrain them with. And our space has got people trained inaccurately, especially for the environment that we're in today with the competing with the gig economy. Network marketing is no longer competing with the next network marketing company. It's been network marketing, as positive as we are, has been declining in sales since 2015. Maybe last year it got back to 15 levels. I'm not sure yet. They'll be published here in a month, okay? But it's been declining. We're in a positive group. We don't like to talk about negativity, but it's been declining because they've missed the audience language and behavior. Okay, now we got the audience language and behavior right in February in 1981. We got it right. Look what happened.
Yeah.
Now with technology, especially if you're great with technology and social media and all that stuff, you got to go with the audience language and behavior. And if you're not great with technology, or you're trying to be something you're not, you're trying to get your people to do stuff that you don't like to do. I went through this thing with our Wisdom Wednesday things. I couldn't do it. Okay, I didn't like it. It wasn't effective. It was good, but it wasn't effective.
And I was cracking the whip.
Yeah.
Let's go do it. Crack the whip.
And so what I'm trying to share with you guys is we're excited about the future.
This is
and
so
we're not
much
looking
fun.
we're not looking at checks. We're not looking at rank. We're looking at individuals. We're looking at bus
Absolutely.
drivers. We're looking at school teachers. We're looking at waiters. We're looking at truck drivers.
Construction workers. We're like guys, like these are everyday people. I love this. And so go ahead.
Just a point here really on what Larry's talking about, because it's so vital. I mean, all of my top major people who are the bulk, where the bulk of my organization is, they're what's called President's Team, Chairman's Club, Founder's Circle, and they're the top of these. But my 4 main lines are all in different countries, different backgrounds, and every single one of them do their business entirely different. They all have completely different methods of operation. They come from different economic strata, and that's the brilliance of this. I mean, And all, by the way, none of them do the business the way I did the business. Okay? Because I don't like the way any of them do their business. But they do.
Yeah.
And that's the brilliance of this. See, you give them the principles. Here, listen, here's the product, here's the plan, here's the principles, do whatever you want. Just don't go away from the product, don't go away from the plan, and don't go away from the principles. And do anything you want using those three things, and you're going to win. And that's where it is.
I love it. I
Wow.
love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, I just have to thank each and every one of you again. I know this was so last minute, but we just couldn't let this day go by unnoticed, and just taking a few minutes here to celebrate this journey that started back in 1968, right? Whenever Larry joined his first company, the same day as Jim Rohn, right? Ooh, we ought to get a picture of this. Everybody put their book up. We have to get a picture of this.
You want me to hold it and you get a picture?
There we go. Okay. Somebody take a picture.
Yeah.
Don't put it in front of your face.
I'm screenshotting. Don't worry, I've got it.
Love it. And you know, whenever you think Jim Rohn, he joined the same company as Jim Rohn, and
Same night.
the
Same
same
meeting.
night.
Wow.
And the journey began, and then to 40 years ago, bringing this in a recording that was handed to so many people in so many distributor packs around the globe, and the ripple impact that it had. And now look at it all the way forward here. It is so endearing to me to see how it's impacting people today, even still. And it makes my heart smile. So I just want to thank each and one of you who are celebrating with us online. If you haven't got the book, go to themillionairetraining.com. You can send people there. We have a book club. It's free. You get a free chapter of how to employ yourself, you know, and we have a book club that we do every Friday. At 12 Central, we have stories on that. We do free training. So it's fun, simple, magical. These are some of the guys that we're working with. And, you know, obviously, Dennis here being one of the godfathers of the Millionaire Training. We just thank you so much. We get to have breakfast with him and his beautiful bride, Carrie, just a couple of weeks ago. So that was such a pleasure. They just live down the road from us. So anyway, we are so thrilled to have each and every one of you. We thank you so much. We thank you so much for being here and celebrating with us. Guys, if you're online, we thank you so much for being here, and happy birthday, Millionaire!
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Incredible.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys stay here, and I'm going to say bye.